Hey guys, Danielle Walker from AgainstAllGrain.com, and we are making pumpkin spice muffins today. So when my oldest Asher was little, we used to go on mommy-son shopping trips, and our favorite thing to snack on was pumpkin loaf from a local coffee shop. After going grain-free and gluten-free though, I had to start making it at home, and we'd bring it with us instead. Everything in this recipe is made in a blender, and then we just pop it into the oven, so it's super quick and simple, and the flavors are amazing. Starting with 2 eggs. Anytime you're making a batter in a blender, you want to start with your liquid ingredients on the bottom. This just helps everything move along as you start blending. Okay, and then I've got maple syrup. You could use honey as well, but I just think that the flavors of maple syrup and pumpkin and all of those awesome spices go so well together. Okay, so next we have 1/2 cup of pumpkin puree. Make sure you just get plain pumpkin puree. You don't want to get the pumpkin pie filling because that has sugar and already added spices to it. Next, we have almond butter. So if you're nut-free, you could use sunflower seed butter in this, but we just love the flavor of almond butter. And just make sure that you get an almond butter that's smooth and creamy, but doesn't have anything added besides a little bit of sea salt. You don't want any of those extra added oils or sugars. You need 3/4 cup of almond butter. Okay, and then just a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, next we have a little bit of sustainable palm shortening to keep this dairy-free. You can use butter too if you'd like. And our flours. So we've got some arrowroot starch, which is going to help give this good structure and a nice crumb. And we have baking powder. Make sure you get a grain-free variety that uses potato starch or no starch at all. And then all of our spices and a little bit of sea salt. So we have nutmeg, cinnamon, and ginger in here, as well as just a little salt to offset some of that sweetness. Okay, and we're just going to pop our lid on here, whiz this up until it's smooth. We'll start on low speed. Okay, then I bumped it up to high speed for just about 10 seconds. So not only does the blender help to make all the ingredients come together and make it smooth, but it also creates really nice air in the batter so that the muffins rise really nicely. You could use a stand mixer if you'd like to, or even a food processor. I'm just gonna add a little bit of lemon zest and some lemon juice to this. It just really helps bring out those flavors from the spices and the pumpkin. Just want about 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of the zest. Some fresh lemon juice. Now this also helps the muffins rise really nicely, and it just gives it a bit of an acidic balance to some of that sweetness. Last but not least, this is optional, but it's not really optional when it comes to my kids, are some dairy-free and gluten-free chocolate chips. And I'm just going to stir this by hand. We don't want to pulverize our chocolate. Okay, now into our muffin tin and into the oven. So these parchment liners are my favorite. You know when you're eating a cupcake or a muffin and you end up losing half of it on the paper and you find yourself turning away from whoever you're with and scraping it off with your teeth? You don't lose a single bit of muffin with these. They're fantastic. And we'll want to fill these just about 2/3 of the way full. They do rise quite a bit. They look beautiful on top after they've had a chance to kind of get that dome on top. Okay, I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm just going to pop these in there for about 18 to 20 minutes. Okay, these baked for 18 to 20 minutes. They have risen perfectly, and the house smells like fall, which y'all know I can't complain about. They've cooled slightly, so I'm just going to put them on this cake stand for when my boys come in. I suggest storing these in an airtight container in your refrigerator, but my favorite way to eat them is warm right out of the oven. When the chocolate is still melted, you can put some grass-fed butter on it and it'll just melt right over it. It smells like nutmeg and cinnamon, just a touch of ginger, and that melted chocolate with the pumpkin is perfect. You can find the full recipe at AgainstAllGrain.com. I hope that you guys enjoy these this fall season.